Namaste and welcome back. This week we shall move on to inquiring into further questions that seekers have sent, and we will be receiving answers from Sri Bhagavan himself. Yugandhar from Vizag asks, Bhagavan, if suffering is a creation of the mind, who created the mind and why?
The mind came into existence as a result of our fight for survival. Without the mind, we could neither have survived or achieved all that we have. Initially, it began as a response to the need for physical survival. Ultimately, the mind had to fight for its own survival. It is this mess we are caught up in.
Daivam Sharanam Gacchami.
Shambhu from Ernakulam has this question. He asks, Dear Bhagavan, why has mankind moved so far away from God?
God is to be experienced. Over the last few thousand years, the experience of God has been declining. This is a cyclic process, and with the beginning of 2012, the experience of God is likely to be on the rise.
Samyukta from Kakinada has a question, and of course, I think this question echoes in the hearts of most of us. She asks, we all have become merchants in the marketplace of life. Doctors, lawyers, politicians and teachers have all turned their profession merely into a business proposition seeking to enhance their wealth and prestige. Bhagavan, why are we so obsessed with money and power?
During different ages, people have different values. These are the values of our current age. These precisely are the things that are going to change the coming age. This requires the awakening of the heart and the awakening to oneness. For this to happen, a neurobiological change is required. This is brought about through genetic expression, which itself is brought about through Diksha.
This is a question from Manik from Warangal, and this question is from a rebellious mind. He asks, we see undeserving and insensitive people succeeding in the material world, seemingly enjoying life, while many deserving people with positive qualities are unable to succeed in material world, often spending their lives in poverty and suffering. Bhagavan, why is the world so unfair?
The undeserving who reap rewards undeservingly would sooner or later have a downfall. They are only seemingly happy, not really happy. While the people who stand on values may suffer initially, would eventually reap their reward. A life based on values is a reward in itself.
When you listen to Sri Bhagavan, my dear friends, hang on to every word that comes out from Sri Bhagavan, because each word is so pregnant with wisdom. As you contemplate on it, over the years you get to know the impact and the meaning of these words. That's what we all have learned over time. Even a seemingly innocuous word, an innocent gesture, after years roll by, we realize was so filled with meaning. My dear friends, so today we move on to the next question. Next question is from Meena from Bangalore. Her question is, the education system today encourages divisiveness through competition. What changes are required in our education system?
Education must prepare children to be world citizens. It must teach them the art of experiencing, the art of listening, and the art of communicating. It should prepare for the holistic development of the child and not just the intellect. Education has to create healthy individuals. For this, it must move away from competition to cooperation and sharing.
The next question again is from Shambhu from Ernakulam. He asks, how can one experience abundant and consistent grace in one's life? Why is grace so unpredictable and intermittent? Is it a random event or can it be made permanent?
You do not receive grace consistently because you do not know how to pray. There are certain conditions which you must fulfill for your prayer to be powerful. 1. You must be authentic in your prayers. 2. You must have emotion while praying. 3. You must have a bond with your God. 4. You must focus on the solution, not on the problem. Once you do this, you would receive abundant grace from whichever God you pray to.
Daivam Sharanam Gacchami.
If only we all knew how to pray, I am sure we would have God for our friend. The next crucial question about the future of the planet is from Vamshi Gangadhar. We got this question over the mail, so we don't know from which place he is. He asks, would the golden age really happen by 2012? Is there also a possibility it might not happen?
2012 is the beginning of the golden age, which itself would take another 100 years to completely unfold. Just like the steam engine invented by James Watt heralded the industrial age, which took about 300 years to unfold, like the first computers heralded the beginning of the information age, which is continuing to unfold, so also 2012 would see the unfolding of the golden age. 2025 would mark a very important phase in the unfolding of the golden age. The next would be 2050, and the next would be 2075, and 2100 would see the complete arrival of the golden age. As we keep progressing from 2012, we would witness accelerated change in various spheres of human activity, like education, governance, health, transportation, values, etc. Almost every sphere of human life would witness an accelerated change. And as this change occurs, we would see the wiping away of poverty. We would see people discovering love and unconditional joy. Competition would be replaced with cooperation, and there would be sharing instead of hoarding. The future is a set of possibilities. However, the golden age happening is a greater possibility. People's negative thoughts and attitudes could be an impeding factor. If 64,000 people could be awakened and they shall work for the golden age, then it is most likely to happen.
The last question again is from Vamshi Gangadhar. He asks, when will the Oneness Temple open and when will 64,000 people start meditating for world's enlightenment? As this process of mass meditation has been postponed, do we also assume that the year of awakening will be postponed from 2012 to a year later?
Meditation for the awakening that is to happen in 2012 would start happening at the Oneness Temple from March 2009. This delay would not affect what is to happen in 2012.
So you have the good news now. The Vanas temple was built with the intent of awakening humanity, and the intent is going to be fulfilled. Very soon, thousands of seekers would be there meditating for the awakening of humanity. Devotees who have completed their Mahadiksha will be gathering at the temple and meditating for their own personal awakening as also the awakening of humanity. My dear brothers and sisters, today I would like to give you another beautiful, amazing and wonderful news. There's something for which millions have been thirsting, and I'm here today, blessed to be able to give you that news. Life, you know, is a living force. Therefore, it is always in movement. There's either a forward movement or there is a backward movement. There's never a point of time where there is stasis. You could never say that you have reached a plateau. No. You're always either moving forward or backward. When people say, I have not been progressing, it means they have been degenerating. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, it's very important for us to map our life. For a few minutes, sit down and think, what is the status of your business over the past few months and over the past 2-3 years? Has your business been progressing or has it been degenerating? Have you made more profits? Have you got greater name and fame in society? Have you carved an image, a greater image for yourself now than it was just a few months ago? Are you in the progressive direction? What about your profession? What about your education? Are you moving forward or are you moving backward? Or have you been under the illusion of stasis? Has your intellectual capacity grown? Have your learning abilities increased? Have your skills grown over a period of time? Or have you taken your focus away from learning? Now, what about your relationships? Has greater love blossomed in your relationships? Has greater understanding emerged between the two of you? Has greater experiencing emerged between the two of you? Or has the relationship degenerated over time? Have you begun to misunderstand each other more than you understand each other? Have your fights become less, and have they become for different reasons, not for the same reasons that you've been fighting over the years? Now, my dear brothers and sisters, what you should understand is that progress is happening or degeneration is happening in all these various areas of life. But then there is one crucial area of life where if you found progress, you will find progress in every one of these other areas also. And that area is the area of grace. I would like you to look into the fourth area of life also, the area of your health. How is your health doing? Is it developing? Are you becoming more and more energetic and healthy? Are you experiencing greater and greater vitality? Or is your vitality going down? Is your energy going down? Is your physique becoming deformed, so to say? How is your health moving? Don't say it is static. Nothing stays static. Now, if in all these four areas of life you need to be progressing, you need to be evolving, there is the fifth area, the most crucial area of your life. If you progressed in that area, you're sure to be progressing in every other area of life as well. What is the fifth arena? The fifth arena is the arena of grace. Over the past few months, over the past few years, what is the pattern you're observing in your life? Do you find divine interference increasing in your life? Or do you find divine interference decreasing? Do you feel more and more grace, more and more beautiful things happening? Your prayers becoming more powerful, the responses from your God becoming more and more often, more frequent, more powerful. How is your journey moving? If grace were on the increase, you must know life simply would be a celebration. If you find that grace is not growing, then it is time you took action. My dear brothers and sisters, that is why Sri Amma and Bhagavan periodically put their devotees, put seekers through this exercise. When people go through this exercise, when people go through this sadhana, grace increases in their life. Because to increase anything in life, you need to put effort. There has to be application. Nothing happens on its own, even grace. That is why this period that is going to happen now, beginning with the 24th of December to the 9th of February, there is going to be a downpour of grace. Let us say this is going to be the rainy season of grace. And in order to experience these showers of grace, Amma and Bhagavan have blessed their devotees with their darshan. There is going to be a darshan open for all, open for everybody. Believers, non-believers, devotees, non-devotees, newcomers, old, young, anybody. Anybody can come and have the darshan of Shri Amma. And this darshan has been arranged as an answer to the prayers of millions of devotees. Millions have always been asking, is there a possibility that we can come with our friends, we can come with our relatives, that we all can have a darshan of Shri Amma? And so we went and requested Shri Amma for a darshan, and it has been made possible for you, and it is completely free. Darshan is going to be in Satiloka, the sacred place, the place which cradled the phenomenon of oneness. At that divine place, Amma's darshan would begin on the 24th December and end on the 9th of February.
Vidyavantam yashasvantam lakshmivantam janam guru rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi dehi saubhagyam arogyam dehi me paramam sukham rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi vidhehi devi kalyanam vidhehi vipulam shriyam rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi vidhehi dvishatam nasham vidhehi balamucchakai rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi natebhyo sarvada bhaktya chandike pranataya me rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi stuvadvyo bhakti purvam tvam chandike vyadinashini rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi vidyavantam yashasvantam lakshmivantam janam kuru rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi dehi saubhagyam arogyam dehi me paramam sukham rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi vidyavantam yashasvantam lakshmivantam janam kuru rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi.
Now, during this darshan, people can straight away come into the darshan, or if you want to have a much greater experience of grace, you could follow the ritual called Varadiksha Mala. The Varadiksha Mala can be followed by people belonging to any religious denomination. It's a ritual that happens for 21 days. You could either follow it for 21 days, for 14 days, or for 7 days. You could come and have Amma's darshan after wearing the Varadiksha Mala, or even without that also.
Heeding to the wishes and pleas of the devotees, from December 24th, every day at Satyalok, Shri Amma Bhagavan are giving their divine darshan to the devotees. Entry is free for everyone.
So see you next week. Namaste.